Good morning. Please introduce yourself. Tell us your name and your DOC number.
My name is Kennan Richard. My DOC number is 560185.
All right, Mr. Richard, I'm going to read some identifying information into the record, and we'll start the parole interview process with you. We do have some folks, I think you might be able to see them on the screen, that have joined us. Your family members, Mrs. Sandifer, Chandrika Sandifer, your wife, Cassandra Tiller, and Demetria DeLoach, your sisters, all of whom want to speak on your behalf, and we'll call on them at the appropriate time to do so. So, Mr. Richard, you're classified as a second felony offender. You're currently serving a 13 years and 2 months sentence, sentenced as a habitual offender in March of 2016 for obstruction of justice. Your parole eligibility date was June 23rd, 2018, and you have a good time date, which is August 7th, 2027. All that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your case has been assigned to Mrs. Wise. Would you answer her questions?
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Y.
How's it going?
Going great.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Call out for the record how much time you served on this 13-year sentence.
I think exactly 9 years, almost 9 years. I want to say a little over 9 years.
A little over 9 years. Okay. Because your good time date's in 2027, it shows.
Yes, ma'am.
What programs have you had an opportunity to take that have an impact on you?
I liked it, the Thinking for a Change program. I liked it that was a good class I attended. I got experience of dealing with, like, interacting with everybody, you know, and like learning each other's should I say experience before coming to jail, and a little bit before coming to jail, way before coming to jail. You know, we touched on a lot of things. You know, I liked that class, and I liked the smoking sensation too, because I seen some things about smoking that made me not even want to smoke.
You smoke free now. You don't smoke anymore?
Oh, no, man, I don't smoke.
Right. Good. All right. This is what your third hearing, a second or third hearing? Which one?
This is my second hearing, man.
Second hearing, you were denied 522 of 19 for supervision, like programs, and high risk assessment. Then see that you was granted a rehearing in 21, and that's what I was couldn't figure out. But then you were granted another rehearing on July 25th, 23, that set us for this day. So what you've been doing to prepare us? What do you want us to know? You applied for a rehearing. What you wanted us to know?
I'm more than ready to be home. You know, I've just recently been married. You know, I miss my wife.
Recently been what now?
Married.
Okay. Congratulations. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I'm ready to be home with my family and my wife. You know, I'm ready to get back to work, you know, and just get back to living a normal life, you know, like I was before I come in there.
Okay. You're in high set, right? You got your high set in 2013. Is that correct? Do you have a trade? How you gonna support your wife?
I got experience. I got work experience. So I worked in the plant before I come to prison. You know,
Okay.
I also have a job waiting on me on the pipeline, you know, as soon as I'm released from prison.
Okay. Do you have a letter or anything about that? What, you had any documentation support that?
I was supposed to have one sent in to y'all. I mean, I don't know if it reached y'all yet, the committee, the parole board committee, but okay. I do have information.
Okay, good. Now there was a comment I read, someone made that you were going to be hoping that your disability be reinstated if you get out.
Disability?
Yeah, that's what I was.
I never received disability, man.
Okay, man. Okay. I do want to say for your record that your victim is unopposed to your early release, so long as you pay restitution. Yeah, that's what, I hope I'm in the right case. That's what I
That's
got.
wrong. That's the wrong, I think that's the wrong case, man. I don't have a victim.
Okay, let me look. Because I see an obstruction of justice. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm sorry. But I got this story of me. Yeah. Okay. See. And what is your mother's name?
My mother's name is Velma Deloach. She's
Velma who?
Velma Deloach.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I was reading it right. And the victim that the case mentions is the owner of Burger Inn.
Well, that's a case that I had before I come back to prison, that I was released on parole. I was did time and I was released on parole.
Gotcha, I got you. But it was in the report that we had for today's hearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in that report. Yeah, because let's talk about your write-ups. Now, you've been in jail. How long did you tell me?
9. I've been incarcerated for 9 years, or a little over 9.
Okay, how many write-ups have you had?
I think 2 should be correct.
Yeah, I'm showing 3. And when was your last one?
You know, my last one was, I think, April of 22. I want to say 22.
And what was that one about?
That was a dirty urine, a dirty urine.
Mojo
in April of 2022?
yes.
Is that right, Mr. Richard?
I think so, yes, ma'am.
What do you mean you think so?
I think that's correct. I know I had 2 of them, 2 write-ups.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Richard. And when did you get married?
I got married this year in April.
April 23.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you had a total of 3 write-ups in these 9 years.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do at the prison now?
I work in the commissary.
Okay. How's that going?
It's going great.
So there was an indication that your sister wanted you to move with her in Texas. So what's your residence plan? If you're successful today.
It's Houston, Texas. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what about your wife?
We working on that. We trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out if I'm gonna be able to work out of state and be able to be with her, or if she gonna be coming back to Houston from out of state.
So your plan is to move to Houston and live with your sister. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you think you need any kind of substance abuse treatment?
I'm willing to do whatever it takes for me to get home.
No, that's not a question. Do you think you need it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you see drugs as interfering with the success of your future? Do you?
No, ma'am.
It's not,
No, ma'am.
drugs is not a problem?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's not a problem for me. I like that.
And how so?
I mean, it's not nothing that I have an urge for, that I just want to do, you know.
So what happened on April 22? You used?
I made a bad decision. You know, I made a bad decision going through a lot at the time that, you know, I regret. You know, I really do deeply regret. You know, I'm sorry I made that decision, you know. But It was a bad decision I made.
Yes. Yep, I agree with you there. All righty, thank you for answering my question. Warren, what you want to share with us?
Yes, ma'am. Richard and I spoke on yesterday in regards to some concerns I had, and one of them was in regards to him receiving substance abuse treatment, extensive treatment, due to the fact of the matter that last write-up that he had to just receive, just over a little over a year ago. And he keeps saying he had to want to get home, but you got to be more concerned about staying home. And I think if he get the treatment that he has to need, you have a better chance with that, because the fact of the matter, being in society, that opportunity going to present itself a whole lot easier than it is with him being incarcerated. So he really needs some help. He really do.
Thank you, Warren. Go ahead, you.
Mr. Richard?
Mr. Richard, good
Yes,
morning.
sir. Good morning, Ms. Rose.
We talked about the 2022 write-up. Let's talk about the 2021 write-up.
Okay.
That was for contraband too. Tell me about that.
That was I think that was like a dirty, was that the dirty urine, or was that one was the dirty urine? I know the other one was for being like I had a piece of paper that was synthetic
Yes.
marijuana.
That was 2021.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I made a bad decision, and I had something around me that I shouldn't have had around me.
And in 2022, you lost 30 days good time.
Yes,
You have
sir.
a moderate risk assessment.
Yes,
You
sir.
have a very poor supervision history.
Yes, sir.
And the entire legal community is against your release. So tell me why I should vote to release you.
Because I'm more than ready for society. I'm a changed person, and I'm ready to do right, and I've been doing right for some time. And I feel that I wouldn't disappoint you in no way. I wouldn't if I grant me the release.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'd like to hear from first your wife, Chandrika Sandifer, please.
Um,
Morning.
well, first, I would like to say that my husband means the world to me. And this has been like the hardest time of my life, but he's been my rock. And basically, I just want us to have a real chance at our marriage and at life. And I know he's committed to doing the right things to stay home and not get back into trouble. I'm sorry, I'm very nervous. That's basically what I have to say.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your comments.
You're welcome.
Demetria Deloge.
Hi, I want to say that my brother's a good person. He's a very kind person. We've been, waiting on him to come home. We miss him so much. I'm the sister that he would come and live with. And we have a lot of opportunities for him as far as work, a career. I'm a professional, so I, will work hard at trying to get him to stay on the right path and everything. And we just miss him so much. He's been away for so long. All his brothers and sisters miss him, and all his nieces and nephews miss him so much. We just want him to come home.
Yes, ma'am.
And he have a large support system. He really do, with our family.
Good, thank you. And Ms. Tiller.
Hello, all. speaking on behalf of my brother Ken, he is a very smart individual. He just made some wrong decisions in his younger years. He's been in there for 9 years, so I know he's matured and grew up some while his time in there. He is a nonviolent person. He's a hardworking individual. Before he came in, he helped take care of our mother. You know, he took care of our nieces and nephews. They love him so much. He has siblings that are out here willing to help him. We've all have jobs and stable homes. None of us are drug users. We don't participate in it. We don't allow it. You know, all of our children that are growing up, they have attended college and hardworking individuals. We're raising younger kids now to be on the same path. You know, Houston is my home. It's my sister's home. It's his dad's home. It's his aunts, his uncle's home. We all live out here, and he'd have a great support system out here. He's a talented barber. He always has been good with his hands. He's worked hard all his life before, you know, getting into the trouble, but we are here to help him. We got ways where he can get jobs out here. We know people, you know, good people. He's a good individual, and we just want him to have a chance at being at home with his family and getting to know his family. You know, being gone so long, he hasn't got a chance to know the younger generation of our family. And we'd love for him to be around us, and we would definitely look after him and make sure he doesn't get into trouble. And I want him to have a good chance with his wife. Like, you know, all of us are having a chance at love and life and family. I know he's a good person, and we would love for you guys to give him the opportunity to come home and just prove it to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us this morning. Mr. Richard, is there something you'd like to say to us before we vote?
And I wanna thank y'all for giving me the opportunity and my family opportunity to be here today. And I wanna tell them that I'm sorry for bringing them through this, you know, and I love them, and I thank them a whole lot for being here for me, you know. Thank y'all.
Good. We are prepared to vote. Ms. Wise will be voting first.
Mr. Richard, I don't appreciate some of the things that you said, but I just think it's because you don't know. But what's encouraging for me is that you took the smoking cessation class, you learned, and you stopped smoking. I'm hoping the same thing would happen when we go to treatment. You got a wonderful family. You really need to hug them because they convinced me. I'm just one vote though. My vote is to grant conditionally after you complete a long-term substance abuse treatment at Steve Hall or wherever DOC sends you. I want you to sit on the front row. You're a smart man. You got your GED in less than 2 months when you got in jail. You're a smart man. You got hope. You got reasons to stay clean. And after you complete Steve Hall, residence plan to Texas, ICOX to Texas, where you got good support already set up there. And you follow the recommendation of the treatment program. And you continue AA and NA at least 3 times a week. I'm just one vote, but that's my vote. I'm hopeful for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Russia?
Mr. Richard,
Yes, sir.
based upon a general disciplinary conduct that's unacceptable, we've had 2 contraband write-ups in 21, 22, poor supervision history, a moderate risk assessment, and the entire legal community is opposed to your release. My vote is to deny your request.
All right, Mr. Richard, I don't know what to think about you. I'm really concerned about the poor decisions that you admitted you made in 21 and 22 with the illegal substance, I'll put it that way. In looking back in your criminal history, it appears that drugs were a problem for you along the way. And I would like, you know, it's kind of like what the warden said. This is to your family too. It's not about just going home. It's about staying home, staying a law-abiding citizen. I agree with Mrs. Wise. I think that the long-term substance abuse program would be a benefit to give you some tools to be successful.
That's
You know, I will agree, it's your family that convinced me, not your record, but it's your family. So my vote is the same as Mrs. Wise to grant after successful completion of the long-term substance abuse program to only the Texas out-of-state plan with the same special condition. So you've gotten a split vote, but you've got 2 votes to grant your parole. So today, that's what happened. Parole's been granted.
You may not get it.
Oh, that-
We have not said them.
Yeah. Well, your risk assessment score may change that. Let me get clarification from staff.
Yeah.
Stand by. Ms. Simon, are you looking at that?
Yes, ma'am, I'm trying to see what.
I'm showing, let's see. I'm showing a moderate risk assessment.
Total needs is moderate, yes, ma'am, that's.
Yeah, so in that case, Mr. Kennan, Mr. Richard, it requires a unanimous vote. So today your parole's been denied. I would recommend though that you do try to get involved in a substance abuse program. You can make those requests and write back when you're eligible for another hearing. Good luck to you, sir.
all
Board,
right.
that
Thank you.
concludes our business at your facility. We're going to sign off at 9:39. Thanks for your help.
Thank you all. Have a good day.